Welcome to TKO, also known as
Trending with Keisha and Ori. If it's trending, we're talking about it. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the TKO podcast. My partner will be joining us here in a second. We also have some special guests on the show. We got friends of the show, Steve and Nicole. So sit back, relax. Let's get into this hot topic discussion. We'll talk about a distraction that was very popular. We will have our guest, friend of the show, Steve. He'll be joining us soon. But ladies, I want to get your opinion on the word entanglement. Boy, I hope Jada got that trademark. I hope Will got that trademark. He's the one that needs to trademark that term and get some loot.
You need to cut it out.
First of all,
the Smiths can trademark it.
Well,
right.
What's his is hers.
Not Will.
What's his is hers.
First of all, she said it.
Right. So.
And he got in, according to him and her, he got in a couple entanglements himself. Okay, so that's a Smith copyright. I know Will.
I didn't hear him. It don't matter. What's his is hers.
He's not
anyway.
innocent. He's not innocent.
No.
Wait.
He's not innocent.
All right. So I really don't want to get into the salacious details of the relationship.
Salacious.
But, yeah.
Right? That's the keywords.
But what entanglement? I've never heard that.
Where are you going with this, Ori? Where are you going with this?
I'm about here. Here's where I'm going with that. Entanglement. What the hell is she talking about? Ladies, help me out. What is that?
I don't know. Me and Nicole might not agree on this because apparently I have an unpopular opinion. But go ahead, Nicole.
Go for
Let
it.
me see what you. No, you go. Let me see what you got.
I just look. I'm all for calling a spade a spade. If you had an affair, you had an affair. However, they were separated. According to them, they were on a break of no return. Mm-hmm. Because even Will himself said, I never thought that I would speak to you ever again.
He's like, I'm done with your ass.
Right, exactly. So my thing is,
and he meant that.
Right.
I felt that. I saw that.
He meant that with conviction. So like my thing is, if I'm done with you, you can go sleep with any Dawn LaShawn, Inez, and whoever, as far as I'm concerned. If that's how done I am with you. If I think that I'm never going to speak to you again, never going to see you again, I could care less if you go and play in traffic, then go ahead and do your thing. I, on the other hand, feel that there is more to the story than what we are being told, which at the end of the day, it's their story. So they can allow us to know what they want to know and what they don't. Because I feel like if it wasn't for August, we wouldn't know any of this anyway. How many of y'all knew that they were separated like that 4 years ago? I personally didn't. Yeah. I didn't know they were on a break of no return.
But you know what? That's a good marriage. When you separate and nobody knows, you doing it right. Because that's how it's supposed to be. Because the separation, that it's a possibility. Now, what they were saying was they separated with the intent to divorce. Like Nicole said, he was done. And she knew he was done, so she went and did what she did. Now, as far as the term entanglement, I honestly feel, because I watched it multiple times trying to figure it out, I think she used that term for two reasons.
Okay.
And when I first heard entanglement, I thought about the cartoon Tangled. I think that's what it's called. I'm like, who says entanglement, right?
Exactly.
I think she said it, one, to spare his feelings, right? Who wants Will?
Okay.
So, and then also at the same time, to sometimes when you have to say something out loud, it's like, I'm that person. I'm that girl. And I'm telling all these people, I'm admitting to it, I'm that girl. And to say it again in front of him, in front of the world, I'm re-injuring him. So I'm not going to say affair. I'm not going to say affair because that makes me look bad. I'm not going to say relationship because that's going to hurt him. What the hell was it? It was an entanglement. I mean, brilliant on her part.
I mean, true, because that's not in my vocabulary.
Yeah, like she came up with that on the fly, unless she had been thinking about it for a while. Like
She might have.
she could have been like, I don't want to, for those reasons, but I think it's funny, but at the same time, it's kind of corny that people have created something out of their real personal story because they really were trying to be transparent. I feel like to say, oh, she did this to August like he was 15 years old. Granted, there's a gap or whatever. But he was a grown man. He knew she was separated.
15.
Now, if you think of
if you're a young boy.
Yeah, but he was in his 20s, right?
Right, he a grown man.
She got kids.
So now you a young boy because your feelings got hurt. You right, he a baby. He a baby because his feelings got hurt. He wasn't no grown man because he wasn't ready.
My question is, 4 years later, why bring it up now?
That's what I'm saying.
And she said that he won't even speak to her. So if you won't speak to me so we can clear it up, I think that's a sucker move to take it to the press for your own boost. Clearly,
right.
I mean,
especially
he's a talented singer, but he's been out of the spotlight for a while. So I'm sure there's an album called Entanglement coming out.
Listen, it's gonna be T-shirt.
Okay.
It might be a movie. It might be, like I said, I hope somebody copyrighted it because that's gonna be a new word in 2020. That's gonna be.
But what blew my mind, and when I said I was on the opposite, the wrong side of popular opinion, was how she immediately became vilified. Like, and that's one of the issues with Black men and women, right?
Yeah.
Black women have to be so forgiving. We have to be so forgiving. Oh, he did this. So take him back. Oh, he did it again. Well, he didn't mean it that time. A Black woman does something one time, throw her in the trash. She's a this, she's a that. She took advantage. He had mental health issues. She took advantage of that baby. People calling that grown man a baby. What kind of woman is that? She was married. Will himself said they were separated. He left her with the intent to divorce. That woman was free to do what she wanted.
She said he kicked her to the curb.
Right. Is it foul that was Jaden's friend? Yeah. Is it foul that there was like a 20-year difference? Yeah, because if it was man, that would be gross. But to each his own. But at the same time, to vilify her the way that they're doing on social media, I think is misguided, and it shows that we're in a pandemic and people don't have anything else to do. You and these people, they didn't have to say anything, but you crave for, why y'all not talking? Why y'all not talking? Then they try to be honest, and now they Will a sucker, she's a slut.
Well, look who just joined. I'm sorry.
Welcome our entanglement expert, Steve Jackson, everybody. Steve, everybody, give Steve a round of applause. He's here. Oh my goodness.
Really? Seriously, with the lower third?
Entanglement.
Really? This is
Mr.
what we're
Entanglement.
doing?
If entanglement was a definition, had a face.
If
entanglement was a person, it's him.
So Steve, I was asking him I was like, entanglement, what the hell is that? So Steve, tell me, what is entanglement?
Keisha, how about you don't look at me like that? First of all,
listening.
Look, entanglement was just Jada's way of trying to sugarcoat the fact that, she got with the young boy. I mean, she didn't want to just say, yeah, me and August had a relationship. Yeah, I slept with him however many times I slept with him, whatever. She said entanglement. So she was entangled. Which is an honestly kind of weird visual, but hey, that's
See, first of all, I was just about to say, me and Steve finally agreed that that was kind of my point, but then he got into the number of times of the entanglement and then the visualization of the entanglement. That's the whole problem with Mr. Entanglement right there. That's why y'all be getting entangled.
I mean, you can't tell me that when she said entanglement that you didn't get a visual in your head that you didn't really want.
I did not at all.
No, I didn't.
Look at Ori just scratching his face. Oh, so you got the visual, huh, Ori?
No,
all right,
no. When she said, I was like, wait, what?
Then it must be a man thing because Will did the same thing. It's like, you want to sit over there and try to play me? Like, tell these people what you did.
Right.
He's like, no, I think you need to say it.
But I thought it, honestly, I thought it was power in him saying, and although he did look like he had been crying, because everybody know Will cry face. He's been in too many movies.
Oh, yeah.
He looked hurt. But it's like, for him to be able to sit there and say, it's okay. Like, to me, it was like he was saying, not giving permission, but he was saying, this is not about me. It's about you wanting to be honest. Say it was a relationship. And you got to respect him for that. Well, like, that is hard because I'm not the wife that's going to stand with you at the podium telling all the business. I'm not. Matter of fact, I'm going to be in the audience throwing something at you, dumbass. Talking about, yeah, tell it, dummy. You got caught.
Yeah, no, I'd be the one to be like, entanglement my ass. It was an affair. You slut with him.
So my question is, what did we think it was necessary for her to do a red table talk about this?
If she wanted to tell her business, I mean, they could have not said anything, but this is her thing.
I feel like they felt like they had to, because they even said that they felt like, because like the headlines was like, Will gave permission and da 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 da, and they're like, and then Jada's like, first of all, I'm nobody to give for somebody to give permission. I'm a grown woman. This is what I did. It was a choice that I made, right or wrong, but it's what I did. And she even said that, like, no one can give permission but me.
Yeah.
Because would they have spun it around like Jada gave permission to Will? No.
Well, him saying that, I mean, once he said that Will gave him permission, Will was under attack by men. Tell the truth. Like, damn, bro, you gave my man permission, right? So that's one thing, because we did not know.
I don't know.
We did not know that he was talking about a period where they were on the verge of divorce. I think when he came out and said it, everyone figured, dang, they really do have an open marriage, because that's a popular rumor. So one, they wanted to clear that up. Two, Will spoke to the power of Black Twitter. He said, well, now Black Twitter got a hold of it. So we have to say something, because I guarantee you come out with a promotion for a movie, for anything else, they were like, oh, so you just going to put a movie out and not talk about how you mess with August Alsina, or you're going to just do this and not talk about how you had an affair or how y'all have it. So because Black Twitter wouldn't let it go. And y'all know how Black Twitter gets. Once it's like a dog with a bone. They wouldn't let it go. Their publicists gave statements without their permission, according to them. A lot of people think they were acting or made it up. But if you want to ask people to speak on something, who are we to not take them at their word when they really don't have to say nothing?
Right.
Like, they don't owe us nothing. How many regular people in entanglements right now? Well, not here. Don't nobody say nothing here. But I mean, in general, you know what I'm saying? How many people are out there in their own entanglement, but they got their Twitter fingers and their gangster keyboard and they're on there trashing them. But these people have worked through it. They said it was years ago. And, people also harped on the whole, we ride together, we die together, bad marriage for life. Tell me a marriage that ain't been bad at one point or another, So that was them sitting in their truth. You see that sign Nicole just gave? I'm gonna go right past it. You see, look, I'm gonna go past the sign she gave. But There ain't one
No,
marriage.
I'm saying. No, I'm agreeing with you. As
I
in,
know.
like,
That's what I'm saying. I ain't even gonna ask you to explain it, girl. Because it ain't nobody business, girl. It ain't nobody business.
But that's
right?
the thing. I feel like in our community, we're not transparent enough with each other to tell each other, like, listen, marriage ain't for the faint of heart. If you one of them people that's getting married just to get married, don't do it. Because I done came on my year, and that year was rough.
Right. Well, we say them marriage vows, and you held to it. And how many aunts and uncles are married but separated right now?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How many grandparents? Oh, he ain't no good, but we've been married 50 years.
Yep.
That's another thing that's been ingrained. You're not supposed to divorce. We don't do that. Legally.
Right.
You might be married twice. I'm not gonna. Where is he? I ain't saying nothing. What?
One thing that I've learned is like, one thing I learned is that as I'm older, I don't judge nobody's relationship.
You can't.
And I'll hear, like I'll hear friends, or I'll hear like my wife talk about other people's like relationship. Like I can't see, she'll be like, I can't see it. And I was like, and I tell her like, you know what? That's their thing, yo.
You know, but you honestly, never know until you in it.
Because
every relationship is unique. It's just like
and
your
you
kids.
Define your own terms. You define your own
exactly. You can't.
My wife might not work for Keisha and her husband or Nicole. You have to have your own terms. It ain't nobody else's business what your terms are.
Nope. Not at all. What works for you works for you. And if that's what you got that's working, then y'all keep at it. And so, I mean, you can't live your life. You can't have your marriage based on somebody else's relationship because y'all aren't them.
Right.
And they seem to have worked through it. And to sit at that table and not be cursing at each other or even bringing up the details of it and saying, well, you did, because when he said, I'm gonna get you back, she could have went into how he got her back already, but she didn't.
She said, well, you sort of have.
You did that already. And he was like, oh, you right. Keep your shut up. You right.
Right.
So that was some grown, I don't know anybody who would be willing to do that in front of an audience of millions.
Right.
I just, even if people going through a public divorce, they ask for privacy. But to come through a separation leading to a divorce, what some people call an affair or an entanglement, and to come on the other side of that and be able to sit across from each other and say, hey, we still in this, we made it through. It's not hard, because people have put them, because in our community is so rare. Marriage used to be so rare for us. A 2-parent household used to be so rare for us, right? And it could be considered a stereotype, but in some cases it's facts. So when we see these Black celebrity couples, we've labeled them Black love, and we put them on these pedestals and say, hey, that's what we all should be striving for. And then they came out and said, hey, that's who y'all think we are. That's not who we are. But you know who was the first couple to do that? Oprah and Stedman. They were like, listen, Oprah's like, I don't care if you think I'm gay. I'm not marrying that man because he's not getting my money. We have separate money, and it's going to stay that way.
All right, y'all. When we run out of time, I know Nicole's got to go, and Steve, and I know Keisha have to go. So, real quick, anybody want to make a last point before we end this podcast? Nope. All right.
Yeah, man.
No. Everybody say what they had to say. Got off the chest. Say what your chest. All right, everybody.
We want to thank Nicole and Steve for joining us on the TKO podcast, because if it's trending, we're talking about it. And most of the time, these are the people we talking about it with anyway. So we just want to thank y'all for coming on and lending your stellar voices. And make sure y'all share this with y'all friends and let them know the person who's normally right is right here. Like, share, and comment.
Well, we know it ain't Steve, so.
Yeah, Ignore that guy down there.
Why is this pile up on Steve day, night, evening?
Dude,
Anyway,
get you in the text messages.
Thank y'all for watching. Comment. Keep it classy. Make sure you like and share. We appreciate you. God bless.
Appreciate y'all. Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank y'all.
Peace.